World English refers to the fact that the English language has been used as a global means of communication in numerous dialects worldwide. It also refers to the movement towards an international standard of the English language. Linguistic universal is a pattern that occurs systematically across natural languages, potentially true for all of them. For example, all languages have nouns and verbs, or if a language is spoken, it has consonants and vowels. Research in this area of linguistics is closely tied to study of linguistic typology and intends to reveal generalizations across languages, likely tied to cognition, perception, or other abilities of mind. The universal grammar. In modern linguistics, is the theory of the innate biological component of the language faculty, usually credited to Noam Chomsky. The basic postulate of UG is that there are innate constraints on what the grammar of a possible human language could be. When linguistic stimuli are received in the course of language acquisition, children then adopt specific syntactic rules that conform to UG. Standard English. In an English-speaking country, Standard English is the variety of English that has undergone substantial regularization and is associated with formal schooling, language assessment, and official print publications, such as public service announcements and newspapers of record. All linguistic features are subject to the effects of standardization, including morphology, phonology, syntax, lexicon, registers, discourse makers, pragmatics, as well as written features such as spelling conventions, punctuation, capitalization, and abbreviation practices. I will be explaining the Braj-Kachru's model. Kachru constructed a model of the different uses of English around the world. This model consists of three concentric circles, which are the inner circle, the outer circle, and then the expanding circle. The first one is the inner circle. The inner circle consists of those countries who are considered the traditional basis of English, such as the UK, USA, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and Canada. English in these countries are classed as a first language. Kachru labels the circle countries as norm providing the norms of English language are produced there. The second one, we have the outer circle. The outer circle consists of countries which are English is not spoken natively, but is still maintained as an important language for communication. An official second language, or as the nation's official language for business and commerce, largely due to historical reasons. These are countries include India, Nigeria, the Philippines, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, and Canada. Kachru labels this country as norm developing. The norms produced by the inner circle are further developed and reproduced in the outer circle. And then the last but not the least, we have the expanding circle. The expanding circle includes much of the rest of the world's population. Countries that do not hold historical or government importance towards English, but class it is a foreign language or lingua franca. Main example of such as countries include most of Europe, China, Russia, Japan, Korea, Egypt, and Indonesia. These are countries are norm dependent. They fully depend on the norms originally produced by the native speakers of the inner circle. They generally do not develop or reproduce Englishes. Define accent and receive pronunciation. In social linguistics, an accent is a way of pronouncing a language that is distinctive to a country, area, social class, or individual. An accent may be identified with locality in which its speakers reside, regional or geographical. The socioeconomic status of its speakers, their ethnicity, their caste or social class, or influence from their first language. While on the other hand, received pronunciation, commonly abbreviated as RP, is a once prestigious variety of British English spoken without an identifiable regional dialect. It is also known as British received punctuation. The Queen's English and posh accent, standard British English, is sometimes used as a synonym. The term received pronunciation was introduced and described by phonetician Alexander Ellis in his book Early English Pronunciation, 1869. American English, sometimes called United States English or US. English is the set of varieties of English language native to the United States. English is the most widely spoken language in the United States and in most circumstances in the de facto common language used in government, education, and commerce. Since the 20th century, American English has become the most influential form of English worldwide. American English varieties include many patterns of pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and particularly spelling that are unified nationwide but distinct from other English dialects around the world. British English is a kind of the English language which is used in Great Britain. It is one of the two most popular kinds of English in the world. The biggest difference between the British English and American English is in pronunciation. Differences in vocabulary and grammar are quite small. People who speak British and American English can easily understand each other. British English consists of many regional kinds of English. For example, people in London, Newcastle, Glasgow, and Manchester speak English in different ways. Australian English is the set of varieties of the English language native to Australia. It is the country's common language and de facto national language. While Australia has no official language, English is the first language of the majority of the population and has been entrenched as the de facto national language since European settlement. Being the only language spoken and the home for 72% of Australians, it is also the main language used in compulsory education, as well as federal, state, and territorial legislatures and courts. The last major variety of English is the African American English, also known as the Black American English or Black English in American linguistics. It is the set of English socialects spoken by most Black people in the United States and many in Canada. Most commonly, it refers to a dialect continuum ranging from African American vernacular English to a more standard American English. Like other widely spoken languages, African American English shows variation stylistically, generationally, geographically, to a singular cities or regions only. In rural versus urban, characteristics in vernacular versus standard register, there has been a significant body of African American literature and oral tradition for centuries. The Philippine English or the Filipino English. Philippine English, similar and related to American English, is any variety of English native to the Philippines, including those used by media and the vast majority of educated Filipinos and English learners in the Philippines from adjacent Asian countries. English is taught in schools as one of the two official languages of the country, the other being Filipino. Due to the influx of Filipino English, teachers overseas Philippine English is also becoming the prevalent variety of English being learned in the Far East as taught by Filipino teachers in various Asian countries such as Korea, Japan, Thailand, among others. Due to the highly multilingual nature of the Philippines, code switching such as Tagalog infused English and Baelish English infused with any of the Visayan languages is prevalent across domains, casual settings to formal situations. And that's it for my video presentation in Linguistic 2, Language, Culture, and Society under Module 3. Thank you so much for listening and watching.